To this day, no one knows the truth. Is the bridge haunted by spirits or by human fear? Or is it something far darker, something ancient, something still waiting? In North Texas, deep inside Denton County, there's a quiet little town called Copper Canyon. Nothing about it looks unusual. Nothing about it should feel wrong. A short distance away, a narrow wooden bridge stretches over dark, slow-moving water. It's only about 32 meters long, old, weathered, and forgotten. At first glance, it's just a bridge. Wood, nails, and time. But almost everyone who has crossed it will tell you the same thing. There is something here, something unseen. And it is watching. Locals whisper about screams echoing through the trees late at night. Footsteps pacing the bridge even when no one is there. Invisible hands that scratch, shove, and strike from the darkness. The stories became so common that people stopped laughing them off. Witnesses described the same sounds, the same shapes, the same fear. Eventually, the bridge earned a grim reputation. It was ranked among the 5 most haunted places in the United States. Thrill seekers and paranormal investigators began to arrive, and they all left with the same name on their lips. A name spoken quietly, the Goatman. Tonight we're telling the story of what many call the Devil's Goatman Bridge. To understand the legend, we have to go back to 1846, back to when Denton County was still finding its place. Officials chose a small settlement called Pinckneyville as the county seat. It seemed like a good decision at the time. It didn't last. Within 2 years, water shortages forced the town to relocate. The Texas legislature approved a new location on higher ground nearby. They named it Alton, but Alton was cursed from the start. The water was no better. Some said it was worse. Most people refused to stay. Homes were abandoned one by one. Within a few decades, the town was completely empty. Alton became a ghost long before anyone blamed ghosts. Silence settled in, and the land waited. In 1884, a company called King Iron built a wooden and steel bridge near the ruins. It connected Denton to a small farming community called Copper Canyon. They named it Alton Bridge. For a time, the bridge was essential. Cattle wagons crossed it daily. Merchants, traders, and ranchers depended on it. It became the lifeline of the region. Every road seemed to lead there. Every journey crossed that bridge. Then progress arrived. A newer, wider bridge was built nearby. Traffic shifted almost overnight. The old bridge was left behind. The wood began to rot, and silence returned. That's when the stories began. Strange sounds drifting through the forest after sunset. Something moving beneath the water below. Shadows too large to belong to any known animal. Shapes slipping between trees. Always just out of sight. Shadows too large to belong to any known animal. Shapes slipping between trees. Always just out of sight. Thousands claimed to experience the same things. The same presence, the same terror. They spoke of a creature waiting at the far end of the bridge, a towering figure standing perfectly still, watching. It had the body of a man, thick black hair covering its skin, and the head of a goat, massive horns curved from its skull. Its eyes glowed in the darkness, and when it screamed, people froze. Anyone who tried to cross the bridge felt it charge toward them, heavy footsteps pounding the wood. Then, just before impact, it vanished. After that, the bridge had a new name. Alton Bridge was forgotten. This was Goatman's Bridge. Some tried to explain it through folklore. Western legends speak of fauns, half man, half goat, creatures said to haunt abandoned places. They are described as tall, fur-covered, and foul-smelling, sometimes walking upright, sometimes running on all fours. But locals insisted this wasn't myth. This wasn't ancient folklore. This was personal. According to legend, a black goat farmer named Oscar Washburn lived just north of the bridge. He was hardworking and incredibly successful. Oscar became the most well-known goat trader in the region. His business flourished. His name carried weight. One day, proud of his success, he hung a sign on the bridge. It read, "This way to the Goatman?" He meant it literally. To him, Goatman meant goat trader. To others, it meant something else, something offensive. The Ku Klux Klan was active in the area at the time. When they learned the sign belonged to a black man, they were enraged. They decided to make an example of him. One night in August of 1938, they stormed his home. They dragged Oscar away in front of his wife and children. They took him to the bridge. They tied a rope around his neck, secured the other end to the bridge, and threw him over the edge. Moments later, they looked down. The rope was empty. Oscar's body was gone. There was no splash, no movement in the water, no sign that anything had fallen. Terrified, they searched beneath the bridge. They found nothing. Oscar had vanished completely. In a final act of cruelty, they returned to his home. They burned it down with his wife and children inside. Hoping Oscar would reveal himself, he never did. Legend says his spirit returned to the bridge, changed. He appeared as a man with the head of a goat, watching from the trees, waiting. Locals believe he hunted down the men responsible, killing them one by one, disappearing back into the woods. After that, he no longer attacked innocent people. He only revealed himself if someone stopped on the bridge, or flashed their headlights 3 times. Others believe there is another spirit here, a darker one, more violent. They say the attacks come from a man named Steve, the leader of the Klan group, a man involved in dark occult practices. Steve was known for extreme cruelty. He abused his wives and committed unspeakable acts. According to legend, one woman refused to marry him. On their wedding day, she poisoned herself. Enraged, Steve attacked her body. He bit her so violently that the autopsy listed bite wounds as the cause of death. Later, Oscar's spirit appeared to Steve on the bridge and killed him. Steve's soul was trapped there forever. It's said if you speak his name aloud on the bridge, he will appear, and he will try to harm you. Another legend predates the bridge itself. In the mid-1800s, a goat herder named Jack Kendall lived nearby. He was successful and feared. Rival cattlemen attacked him. They dragged him into the forest and hanged him so brutally that his head was severed. Jack was said to practice voodoo. Even after his head was removed, his body moved. According to legend, he slaughtered a goat. He placed its head on his body and became the original Goatman. Other stories speak of a woman in a long dress. She appears during the day, crying for her daughter. When no one answers, she screams and vanishes into thin air, leaving silence behind. Historians have searched official records. None of these people ever existed. No Oscar, no Jack, no Steve, no drowned woman. Nothing. Still, the bridge's reputation grew. Occult groups and satanic cults were drawn to it. Rituals became common. Animal sacrifices were reported regularly. Bones arranged in strange symbols. Pet shops nearby stopped selling cats. Visitors report glowing eyes in the woods, screams echoing through the night, something walking inches behind them, so close they can feel its heat. In the early 2000s, two boys played soccer on the bridge at dusk. As night fell, they heard hooves. One boy saw his friend lifted into the air, thrown into the river below. The victim survived. Later, he said one thing: "I didn't jump. Something picked me up." In 2018, two paranormal investigators visited at midnight. Their footage went viral. More than 20 million views. The bridge became famous again. More people came. More stories followed. To this day, no one knows the truth. Is the bridge haunted by spirits or by human fear? Or is it something far darker, something ancient, something still waiting